What's going on, movie fans? My name is Michael Weir, and the month of March in 2023 has come to an end, which means it's time to talk about all of the new releases that I had a chance to check out, whether I saw them in theaters or I saw them streaming. It doesn't matter. If they were a brand new release and I had a chance to check them out, I want to talk about them in this video. Now, in this video, we are going to rank them from worst to best, and I'm going to give you quick thoughts on all of these movies. But if you want my full thoughts, my full reviews for these movies, all of those reviews are on my channel. I've done a review for every movie on this list, and I would love for you to go check those out after you watch this video. But let's get into ranking March of 2023 from worst to best. Coming in at number 9, guys, we have Children of the Corn. This was a remake, a reboot, and I will tell you right now, straight up, this is the worst movie on this list for many reasons. The acting was terrible. The children in this movie was awful. The storyline was really the worst part about it. You had a town taken over by children instantly. There was no like, ooh, how are they going to methodically do this? No. It's just as soon as it was time to go, it was, hey, all the parents are in jail. How? Don't worry about it. No. Will the parents fight back? No, they will not. One teenager will fight back, and he will die instantly. None of the parents will fight back. Like, it's just awful. It's awful storytelling from beginning to end, and they actually go as far as to show you he who walks behind the rose, which is this gigantic Groot-looking corn stalk. It's that bad. So, Children of the Corn remake. It's the worst movie of 2023 so far, for sure, and it's definitely the worst movie of March 2023. Getting into number 8, guys, we have 65, the Adam Driver-led dinosaur movie. This is a movie that I was actually really excited for going into it. I thought, ooh, how could this movie not be exciting? You got Adam Driver, who's a great actor. You got dinosaurs. It looks like they've spent some money on the CGI, so this will be a fun time. And it really wasn't. This movie was kind of boring throughout the movie. And probably the biggest issue I ended up having with this movie is the fact that there were no dinosaur kills in this movie. Yeah, you had dinosaurs get killed, but you didn't have dinosaurs killing people. And that's why we go to dinosaur movies. We want to see dinosaurs eat humans. It's just what we want. Even in Jurassic Park 1, we were like, hey, Sam Jackson had to die so we could see dinosaurs eat humans. We understand. Like, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch dinosaurs do their thing. So when you have a movie that's led by Adam Driver and the only other character in this movie is a little girl, I kind of knew both of them were going to make it to the end. So anytime there was a dinosaur chase or a dinosaur fight, like, I knew they were going to get the upper hand no matter what. At no point in this movie was I like, oh no, they're going to get eaten. Because I knew they were going to make it to the end of the movie. There's just 2 actors in this movie. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, 65 was kind of disappointing for a lot of reasons. The main one, we didn't get to see dinosaurs eat people. You could have had 10 to 20 people on that ship who lived and tried to make it with Adam Driver just so you could have some people get eaten by dinosaurs. But no dinosaurs eating people in this movie. It's just Adam Driver doing his thing. It was kind of lame. At number 7, guys, we have a Guy Ritchie directed film in Operation Fortune. I actually was excited about this movie because the last couple movies Guy Ritchie has made, I've really enjoyed. Well, except for Wrath of Man. That was pure garbage. But The Gentleman was great. Snatch was great. The Sherlock Holmes movies, I think, are great. So going into this movie, I didn't know what to expect from him. And the thing about Guy Ritchie movies, for me at least, is that I need someone narrating them almost the entire time. And that's what makes Snatch and The Gentleman and the Sherlock Holmes movies stand apart from other movies, because they can be narrated by characters within those movies to bring you along the path that the story is telling. However, they don't feel like they're just forcing exposition down your throat. And so when Guy Ritchie doesn't use that style, when he just tries to let the story unfold like a normal movie, we'll call it, when he just lets a story do that, it doesn't work for me, because Guy Ritchie weaves these webs, and I kind of need somebody telling me, hey, look over here, now do this, and can now see this, and this is this guy, and this is it. By the middle of the movie, I was completely lost, because he didn't have somebody bringing me along this journey of the story he was trying to tell. That's why I ranked it at number 7. If it doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. At number 6, guys, we have the DCEU's final attempt at the DCEU, and that is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. This movie should have done a lot better in theaters. It actually was a family fun time. I had a good time in the movies with it. But a lot of people didn't go to see this because James Gunn jumped the gun and said, oh, by the way, it's not going to matter for the grand scheme of the DCU. Now, I am one of those people that thinks movies should stand alone, including superhero movies. I think they should stand alone as themselves, and if they can tell a broader story while they're doing it, that's fine. And in my opinion, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods did that. This is a decent movie, a decent outing from the DCU. However, again, because these DC movies lead into other things, and now we know for a fact that this wouldn't lead to anything, it did very badly at the box office. And honestly, I don't blame anyone who didn't want to go see this movie, because if you're being told by the new head of DC Studios that, hey, this isn't going to matter, you're not going to go see it. Just like in Black Adam, they said, oh, hey, we're bringing back Henry Cavill. He's going to be the DCU's Superman. And then people went and saw that, including myself. And I was like, well, the movie wasn't great, but I'm happy that Superman's back. And then a week later, they were like, oh, yeah, no, he's not coming back. James Gunn was like, we're not bringing it back. And this isn't to knock on James Gunn. I'm just saying that, like, maybe don't announce everything. Maybe one of the best things about Kevin Feige is that he shows and doesn't tell. I don't know. Just a thought. At number 5, guys, we have Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons was a movie that I just did a review for yesterday. This is a fun movie. I had a fun time throughout. It's a family-friendly adventure movie, and it has a lot of good laughs in it, and it's got a really fat dragon. I think that's why I put it at number 5 instead of number 6, which also had a dragon in Shazam, but it was made of wood. And I kind of liked the fat dragon more, so that's why I put it at number 5. At number 4, guys, is Scream 6. This is a movie that probably should have been top 3 for the month, but that ending reveal just killed it for me. I really liked the opening to this movie. I think it's one of the franchise's best, if not the second best, after Drew Barrymore getting killed in Scream 1. But while I really enjoyed the opening and the first 2 acts of this movie, the third act where they reveal who the ghost faces are really fell apart for me. And now I'm going to throw a spoiler tag up because I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. So if you haven't seen Scream 6, just spoilers, okay? Just, there's a tag. I'm telling you now, spoilers. But I want to talk about that ghost face reveal and why it ranked so low on this list at number 4. Because it was lackluster. You had the dad and the brother and sister from Richie in part 5 come to extract revenge, which is a plot we've already seen. In Scream 2, Billy Loomis's mother came out of the woodwork trying to kill Sidney Prescott. So with that being the big reveal for this movie, it was just kind of lackluster. Not to mention throughout the entire movie, you had the movie setting up Stu Macher to return. They really did. At one point, one of the characters goes, Stu Macher's dead. And they go, yeah, if you believe it. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I want him back. And I thought that's where they were going with this movie, since the Ghostface Killer was sort of dropping clues all the way to Stu's mask. And then it gets there and it's the dad. And then I rewatched this movie and I had a problem with more of the movie, not just the final reveal. Because at first it was just the final reveal. In my review, I'm like, yeah, it was a great movie minus the reveal, like just kind of lackluster. All right, but then I rewatched the movie, and that's why it ranks at number 4 on this list, because there are scenes in this movie that straight up do not make any sense. Like there's a moment where the sister of Richie is laying on a bed, talking to her father, who's a cop, telling her how scared she is of Ghostface, while her brother Ghostface is behind her with a knife, about to stab and kill her. And it's for the audience, don't get me wrong, especially the first time around. The first time around, that scene works really well because you don't know who's who, and now your process of elimination going, well, wait, if she's getting stabbed, she's not the killer, and if she's on the phone with her dad, he can't be the killer, so the killer is someone else completely. And so it kind of process of elimination for the viewer. But the second time around, I was like, wait a minute, okay, hold on. So she is one of the Ghostface killers, talking to her dad, who is one of the Ghostface killers, telling him that she's scared of the Ghostface killer, while her brother is behind her, getting ready to fake stab her. Who did they set this up for? What were they doing? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, unless they thought they were being listened to, or maybe unless they thought all of that would translate to the guy across the street, but there's no way he could have heard the phone call. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Scream 6 was very disappointing in that regard. I'll take the spoiler tag down now. That's my reason for making it number 4 on this list. I wanted more out of Scream. I hope Scream 7 gives us Stu. I'm just going to say, I need him to really love a Scream movie again. I need Stu Macher. I just do. At number 3, guys, is a movie that caught me by surprise. I actually was interested in this movie going into the month, but I didn't know how much I would love it, and that is Inside, starring Willem Dafoe. Look, I love watching Willem Dafoe go crazy. He pretty much does in every movie that he's in. But in this movie, you really get to see him dive deep into madness as he gets locked in an apartment and has to find a way to survive. One of my favorite parts of this movie is where he's laying on the floor, looking out a window, and he says to this pigeon, "Nobody here but us pigeons." And then he starts to smile. It's just a great moment, and I really liked his performance in that for a movie that pretty much had one actor on screen for the entire movie. In fact, only one actor speaking for sure for the entire movie. They really did a good job at making the movie interesting all the way to the very end. And I can't wait to rewatch this movie. At number 2, guys, we have Creed 3. There's no reason this movie shouldn't be the very top of this list, other than the fact that the movie I gave the top of this list definitely earned it and definitely deserved it. However, Creed 3 is very possibly going to be in my top 10 movies of the year 2023 because it has everything in it. It's got emotion, it's got heart, it's got incredible fight scenes. There's a fight scene at the end of this movie that I never thought was possible. Like, I never would have dreamed that up personally. Like, I loved what they did with it. You had two boxers in a ring, the crowd around them, the shining lights, and then poof, it's all gone. And it's just the two boxers in the ring, and the camera's just circling them, and eventually it comes back around, and all the lights and people are there, but it just showed the focus of those fighters, and they did such a good job with it. So Creed 3 is my number 2 movie of March, which of course means number 1 is going to be John Wick Chapter 4. This movie is kick-ass from beginning to end. I loved everything about it, from Donnie Yen's blind assassin to Bill Skarsgård's Marquis, and then of course you've got Keanu Reeves reprising his role as John Wick. There were so many great characters in this. The movie found a way to still build the world more. 4 movies in, and they still found an interesting way to world build, but also kick-ass the entire time. I will also say this movie made a very definitive end to the John Wick storyline or the John Wick franchise. I know they're planning to make spin-offs and more movies, but as far as John Wick is concerned, they tied this movie up nicely, and I'm really looking forward to buying a John Wick Steelbook pack that has chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 in it. They dropped a really cool one with part 1 through 3 this year, but I didn't buy it because now I want to wait for part 4. This was a great way to cap off the John Wick universe, the John Wick franchise. I loved everything about it. It was my second most anticipated movie of the year 2023, and I absolutely cannot wait to see this movie again. I've actually seen it twice in theaters, and both times it was wonderful. The color palette they used, everything about this movie was so much fun. So John Wick Chapter 4 was my number 1 movie of March of 2023, and that's my ranking for March of 2023, guys. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like and the share button. If you have seen any of these movies and you've got thoughts or comments, or maybe you've got a ranking of your own, put that in the comment section down below. I love talking movies with you guys. And finally, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that because I got a lot of content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, guys. Well, made it to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can click right there to see all my 2022 reviews, or right there to see all my 2023 reviews. So, thanks for watching.